Rest in peace, Mr. Mango. Another fruit tree victim to frost and cold. How do we get this to stop? How can we save these fruit trees? Well, I'm about to show you. Stay with me. First and most obvious is if you have a greenhouse or your plants are in pots, obviously bring them inside if they're small enough to do so. The greenhouse here, we don't have any heating. I don't have heaters in here or anything like that. But what I do have is my above ground pond system. As we know, water retains heat very well, and the heat is going to be re-radiated back out into the air overnight. And that could be the difference between life and death for some fruit trees. So we're about 4 degrees warmer in the greenhouse right now. Now, I know not everyone has a greenhouse, so we're about to go over what to do if you don't have the ability to bring your plants inside. So how do I protect my fruit trees so that they don't end up like this sorry mango? Let's walk just a few steps from my food forest to the other end to show you how this mango is doing. So you might have guessed one of my secrets for protecting my fruit trees. You got it. Christmas lights, but not just any Christmas lights. Do not use LEDs. You want to use incandescent. I prefer the larger bulbs, as you can see here, as they generate more heat. So let's look at a few of my fruit trees. I have a couple of other trees. There's a mango here, doing absolutely fine. I have a sapodilla here. Look at how small that is, doing absolutely fine. There's another mango right here, no damage. Little bit of damage to my sugar apple. It's a little bit more sensitive, but still very much alive and doing okay. So if the temperatures are 34, 35, 36, I leave them uncovered. They do just fine with the Christmas lights. If you have temperatures 32, 31, 30 or below, then I'm going to show you what I do. Okay, so let's walk you through exactly how to set up your trees for success during the cold. So we have our Christmas lights. I already wrapped mine around this tree. You can see I have it nicely distributed, the lights in the canopy. I have some in the middle, some at the bottom, and some at the top here. And that's to protect all areas of the canopy. Now we have to protect the trunk. So now we've completed stage one, which is to protect the trunk of the tree. That is most important to get done. We did it with mulch, kept the mulch dry. We're not wetting the mulch right now. We don't want ice crystals to start forming. And next we're gonna get to the canopy. We're gonna start with a bed sheet. I just like to use a fitted bed sheet because it's a little bit easier. And we're gonna put plastic on next. But what this is gonna do is gonna protect the leaves from getting scorched by the plastic being up against the actual leaf itself. So this worked quite beautifully, as you can see, all around the tree here. The leaves are nicely protected. We have the trunk protected with the mulch and the wire cloth cage. And don't forget, we do have the Christmas lights underneath. Okay, we have the lights. And now the most important part for really cold temperatures. This will be enough. Like we mentioned earlier, this would be enough if the temperatures are going to be in the 35, 34, 33 degrees, around there. This would be good enough. But when we're going to go down, like in a few days from now, we're going to go down to the low 20s here in Central Florida. That's very, very cold. So I'm going to wrap the tree in plastic now, and those Christmas lights are going to create a greenhouse effect on the inside and raise that actual air temperature. It's going to be very, very effective. All right, now for the plastic, we're going to use this HDX 4mm plastic. I have it on the Home Depot app right here. If you can see that, it looks like it's $59 for a 100-foot roll by 10 foot. So that's what you're gonna see us using here. All right. We've already pre-cut a section and we're gonna get it on the tree now. You'll have to do a little bit of estimating to figure out how long you're actually gonna cut. I believe we cut maybe 12, 14 foot long by 10 foot. We're gonna get that on. We use just a piece of string to tie it onto the bottom and keep it secure. Don't pull it so tight that you're gonna damage the branches, but it can't be loose to allow the cold to come up inside it either. And so the last thing we have to do is just connect up the extension cord that we have to the actual Christmas lights here, because that got disconnected as we were filling up the mulch. And then one thing you don't want to do is we're making this video in the daytime so that it's better lighting, but when the sun is out like this, you do not want to keep the plastic on. It would have to be so extremely cold in order to justify doing that. But you just want to take the plastic off during the day, and you really want to have it on at night or into the early morning when it's coldest before the sun actually comes up. Now, once again, like we mentioned earlier, you want to make sure that you're wetting the ground around your fruit trees, getting it nice and saturated so the tree does not dehydrate during the cold. That's the biggest danger. Notice I'm not going to be wetting the actual mulch protection on the trunk itself. I'm just going to wet around the tree, make sure it's nice and moist before the cold comes. Don't forget to open up your greenhouse during the day if you have one, because the temperature can soar even though it's cold out. Look, we have 58 degrees on the Weather Channel app, and we have 80 degrees inside the greenhouse. And so if it gets much warmer outside, this could start baking in here. So you want to be aware of that. Now let's go look at the temperatures inside the plastic on the fruit tree. Okay, so we got the thermometer out of the greenhouse, and it is back to the ambient air temperature outside, which is, just like the Weather Channel said, 58 degrees. Now we're gonna go put it into the fruit tree to see this greenhouse effect, the microclimate inside the plastic. And I want to show you why you don't want to keep the plastic on during the day. So as you can see, we're already up to 80 degrees inside the plastic, and it's still only about 10:30 a.m. So that by the time maybe 2-3 p.m. comes around, this thing could be 100 degrees in here. We don't want that. So don't keep the plastic on during the day. It's just too risky. So definitely pull that off. The cloth underneath it can be kept on for a day if you are only going to have one day of cold. But if you are going to have multiple days of cold, you might as well pull that off so the tree can actually photosynthesize still and it can respirate, right? Because we know that water and oxygen and carbon dioxide are being exchanged through the stomates in the leaf. Thanks for sticking around and watching. Hopefully you'll have your trees protected this winter, the trunk and the canopy, and let us know if you have any other questions. If you found this valuable, please like and subscribe to the channel. We'll catch you soon.